We got a code 1 here.
I believe missions is God's heartbeat.
As we walk to this village, we'll walk by fresh graves. We meet people.
The clouds are all just inside those valleys.
When I look back, I just don't want to have any regret.
I think it would be a great challenge if we didn't have MAF.
Boy, hold on, because the adventure really starts now.
Lesotho is an unusual program because the government actually has asked us to come and be the flying arm of the Flying Doctor Service.
Mike Schutz and myself are both maintenance specialists, so we kind of run the shop, and most of our pilots here are also mechanics.
Well, originally, when we joined with MAF, we were scheduled to go to Zimbabwe. It wasn't until about 2 months before we joined or decided that we were going to be coming that they said, oh, we don't need you in Zimbabwe anymore, Mike, we need you in Lesotho. And I'm like, where in the world's Lesotho? I don't have a clue where that place is.
The mountain kingdom of Lesotho is a small country completely surrounded by South Africa. It is home to 2 million people. 75% of the population lives in the isolated mountains, rising to 11,000 feet. Lesotho is the third highest country of people living with HIV/AIDS. As much as 1/3 of the population is infected.
The medicine that we bring to the mountains are basically giving the people more time to live. There's thousands and thousands of people that today would very possibly be dead if the medicine that we brought into the clinics wasn't there.
In addition to basic health services, mountain clinics dispense medicines to reduce the symptoms of HIV/AIDS.
Together with Partners in Health and Lesotho Flying Doctor Service, we are really trying to make a difference here. With Partners in Health coming here about 4 years ago, we are expanding that work, and Lesotho Flying Doctor Service has been here since 1980 when MAF got invited to Lesotho.
Today is a day in which the doctor team will go to a health post, which is it's a village deep in the mountains, no access except by foot or airplane, and we go there in order to provide medical care. We go there twice a month as the doctor team, and then once a month with nurses to do immunizations and weigh babies and take care of pregnant moms. We're going to show the Jesus film tonight, which for this village is the first time they've ever had a film. They've never seen a film before. And so the first film is going to be about Jesus.
What do you got on the way back?
So it's just cool.
Take one of your seats.
And we're just praying for good weather. Doesn't look real great, but if we can get out there, that's the good thing.
Clinics are checking in with low clouds, low visibility on the mountains right now.
Okay.
So,
It's not looking.
I apologize for getting y'all loaded up.
No.
We just didn't have the reports until now. So.
No, we talked about the fact that we may get here, load up, and we may go, we may not go.
Yeah.
And if we don't go, we'll alter the plans. And
if they were reporting that it was like higher clouds and maybe 4 over 8 or something, then we could come down over there.
Yeah.
But it's looking like if we go up, then we're not going to get down.
Yeah.
So we're going to go have a look at the escarpment now. Just Brad and I are just going to walk around the corner.
So we're supposed to look both ways before crossing a runway. Is that it? Or?
So what's the issue here?
The issue is weather. And like any place, weather is a big determinant in flying safety. And
I don't know, it's starting to clear up there as well, and that's the higher level too.
So what we're going to do is just wait and see, and God willing, the weather will clear up. If it doesn't happen today, then we'll just keep praying and hope that we can get to the same village tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tempting from over here, huh?
Let's try.
I'll follow you.
I'm following you.
Oh, you follow me.
We took a look at the escarpment, the mountains that we've got to cross, and feel like it's breaking up a little bit, so we're gonna give it a try. If we have to come back, we have to come back. But I think we should have a good chance of getting through.
Our mission is basically, ultimately to bring the news of Christ to people, but also just to meet the physical needs of people, bringing people in and out of the mountains as needed, and being able to show Christ through our actions.
There are people that would never be able to see a doctor unless we flew a doctor out to them because their villages are so remote.
It's exciting hearing about new strips opening up, new opportunities coming up, and the challenge is to meet those needs.
My hope is that in the time that we are here and we're going to serve Him, that we can make a difference. And even beyond that time, that people will not remember us, but that they will have Christ in their hearts, and that He will be the one glorified.
It is pretty exciting because after years, we finally have a Christian missionary doctor that MAF helped recruit for the Southern Baptist Mission. That's really why MAF is here, is to help the gospel go forward. So that's a cool thing.
We've made it through the weather to the mountain airstrip closest to the health post. From here, it's about a 30-minute hike to reach the village.
Yeah, we had to leave some things back kind of halfway from the airstrip because they're really heavy. So there's another guy going with a wheelbarrow to pick them up and bring them. So the man behind us was just trying to give him a message that they're down over there. But unfortunately, too windy and he couldn't hear. So, but he'll find it. This is the local cemetery, and there's some fresh graves about every month when we come here.
Coming up, orphans learn to make it on their own. Is there really any hope?
Would you like to bring All Over the World to your church or ministry? You can by purchasing the All Over the World Worldview Small Group Experience. This 6-week small group curriculum features and includes 6 of our most popular programs. Watch the shows and document your own quest with your personal travel log. You and your group will experience what God is doing around the world and find out how you can join the adventure. For more information, visit www.aotw.tv.
All Over the World's Missionographer Training Academy. It's where missions and digital filmmaking meet, and where people just like you not only learn the art, but also the heart of missions video. Enroll in our intensive 4-day workshop and you will get expert instruction on how to create inspiring video, with hands-on shooting and editing. You may even be picked to help produce a future All Over the World show. Workshops are enrolling now. To find out more, go to www.aotw.tv.
So we got high speed, you got intermittent, and I suppose there's probably just a low speed if you're just, kind of going through just a Sunday rain shower type of a thing. It's the Land Rover technology at its best right there.
The MAF team in Lesotho serve a small country inside of South Africa. As the only civilian aviation service in the mountainous kingdom, MAF supports the work of 38 partner agencies. Teamwork is critical in serving the needs of people living in the rural mountains.
Tell me what it's like to work with a team.
Those guys over there, is those the ones you're referring to?
This is what we do to keep team morale on here. Come on, guys, don't stop. You're making me feel better.
I love the team here. We're like a family. We go to church together and we work together and we play together.
We each bring our different talents and our skills together, and that's what binds us together. It makes us a whole team. Shh! Come on, man, we're working down here.
It's great to work in a team, in a big team like this in Lesotho, and going for the same goal. And there's one goal, and that is to glorify God.
But I think the coolest thing is that we get to rub shoulders with a whole bunch of different mission groups.
One thing that's really great about MAF is that we work with all different denominations and church groups and relief and development agencies. So we get to help so many different people in so many different ways.
And we get to be a great link tying all the different groups together, and that's really cool.
He died for my sins. He died for your sins.
One of the things that I have been involved with on an ongoing basis has been in the office. I actually enjoy working with numbers. And I know that if I can do that, that helps the work of MAF to carry on. And I also help out a couple of the other organizations here with their accounting needs as well. One of the projects that I am involved with here in Lesotho is called Jewels of Hope. And what it is an organization that helps orphans and vulnerable children in the community. And our goal really is to mobilize and equip local people to disciple and care for orphans. The Connect groups with Jewels of Hope consist of 5 children with 1 trainer, and each one of those groups will produce bags of hope. And what it is 5 little bags of all the same, but there's 7 different items in this bag. So throughout the term, the children are producing these items together. Okay, what I need you to do is, you've all done this necklace before. We just need to remake them because they were too short. It's easy for a child to be able to do. When they start, sometimes these children are 11, 12 years old when they begin, and they can do it with a little bit of training. They can string the beads on. And when they get to the end of a necklace and they hold it up and they say, wow, I did this. You know, what a great self-esteem boost that is for a child like that, and not only any child, but a child who maybe really hasn't had any encouragement their whole life. If you want some good singing with the angels, you better come to the Lesotho. That's brought in then goes back to the projects. Most of the children are very, very desperate, so any money they get, they're going to use to buy food and clothes and pay for their school fees. Really, that's the main things that these children need, and they know that they need them.
Our Flying Doctor team in the mountains is just about to reach its goal. After a half-hour hike, we arrive at the village health post. Today, we're holding a general health clinic and distributing eyeglasses. Tonight, we're showing the Jesus film.
As soon as people hear the plane coming, they start lining up to people wait outside. Then they go in back into the 3rd room and they see Dr. Pepper.
There's a lot of really old people in this village, and I end up seeing them, many for hypertension, some for diabetes, for arthritis. Dumelan kono. Dula stulo. This. Okay, good play. This lady was born in 1927, so she's 83 years old.
They have eye problems. Michael's an ophthalmic nurse, and she'll see them. And after that, then the patients come and they hand me their Bucana. And I dispense whatever drugs that Dr. Pepper's written in here. And today, we have Pastor Safiri with us, who also will be sharing the gospel with people waiting outside and helping us to translate whenever we get stuck on something.
Okay, so she's got sefuba, which is the word they use for common cold and cough and headache and arthritis.
When you talk to the doctors out at the clinics and you find out how many people they've saved and how many lives have been changed because they're there and we're able to supply them and support them, that brings a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment there.
Seeing Christ's love being demonstrated in just a very tangible way here through our service is probably one of my biggest joys.
We really hope that with the service that we are giving them and with the relationships that we are building, that they can see that Jesus is their ultimate Savior.
Yeah, becoming a missionary is a very rewarding thing. It's being able to reach out to people and knowing that you have a gift of the gospel, the gift of Jesus Christ that you can share with them.
Coming up, the MAF team responds to a medical emergency, and weather keeps MAF planes from reaching the mountains. The flying doctor team is stranded overnight.
All Over the World is now looking for feature producers. If you have a talent in media production and would like to join the All Over the World production team, then visit us online and become a part of a national, award-winning television series. Visit www.aotw.tv to register. Use your talents to help missionaries around the world.
When you see a patient come off of our airplanes that's critically ill, and to know then that 2 weeks later or a week later we fly them back home.
We really hope that in the future there'll be more missionaries.
We're recruiting more pilot mechanics.
We need a couple more planes here.
We have a project to build a new hangar.
Looks like Christian's just rolling in right now with a code 1 on board. That's a medical evacuation flight, so whatever he was doing out there, he probably dropped whatever other flights he had to pick this medical emergency up. Hopefully we should see an ambulance pull up here soon, and we can see what we can do to get this guy out of the airplane. What you got? A broken leg.
In this particular case, we flew him to Missouri in half an hour. I think it would have saved him, what would it be, about 5-hour walk to Smongkong, and then on a bus there about 2 hours. Oh, it's about 12 hours even to Smongkong, so yeah, so about 11 and a half hours plus, yeah, so plus 2, so 13 and a half hours is what we saved him today.
They're all at Queen 2, no wheelchairs.
That's the main vision why we are here, is to help people in the mountains with the medical, medical aids. For the flying is to get them out of there, to get them to proper care here.
I know that there are a lot of medical needs that we're really addressing by being able to make the flights that we do. And so that's just a very tangible way that we can see what we're doing is really helping people, to bring them to the hospital, to provide medications that can save their lives or prolong their lives.
A little while ago, one of our pilots was heading out with a bunch of heavy satellite equipment to take to one of the remote clinics, and so I jumped in to help him unload, and just to be an extra set of hands. When we got out there, we got a code 1 call that's a medical emergency, and those, we just drop everything to take those, the pilot does. So I realized I might be extra baggage pretty quick. As it turned out, the doctor at the clinic couldn't come along with a young girl who had just given birth. And was not stable at all. So he handed me the baby, and I held the baby. She was about an hour old, and the mother was tied down on a stretcher here next to me. I just kind of kept an eye on her IV and made sure that she wasn't doing anything that wasn't good, and just held on to the baby. We got down here, there was no ambulance available, so we were able just to put him in my Land Rover and take the mother and the baby over to the public hospital, where we dropped them off, got them all admitted. While I was there, I was able to take a picture of the mother and the baby, and didn't think much of it. Just was on my camera. I had printed a few pictures. A few weeks later, I found them getting in the airplane. The pilot was just loading them up to take them home back to the mountains, and I gave the mother the picture of herself and the baby in the hospital. Just a big smile on her face, and it was just one of those things that you work day in and day out in the hangar, and it's really neat to go out and be a part of making somebody's life better and saving somebody's life.
It still amazes me how drastically the weather changes, and the thunderstorms here are absolutely amazing. Yeah, hopefully this cell is going to move through fairly quickly, and yeah, Justin's out there flying right now, and hopefully he can make it back home. Otherwise, he may have to land somewhere and wait.
I'm a flight follower, so basically I keep track of the airplanes as they go out of here into the mountains and back.
The storm cells have surrounded Justin in the mountains, and he's not sure he can find a way through.
I went a little bit to the west, of course, but the clouds are all just inside those valleys. Ribboning is not open. I was not able to come out ribboning. I thought I would try to see if that was open. Now we're just we're following the TMA boundary eastbound, basically.
Being a pilot's wife has its ups and downs. There's times when it can get really stressful and nerve-wracking, and other times you just kind of put that in the back of your mind and carry on with life. We have 4 kids, so they keep me distracted.
The clouds have temporarily cleared at the airport, and Melvin is able to land with the Flying Doctor team. Justin is still surrounded by weather, searching for a safe way home.
Wow, that was quite the weather. We were 400 feet is what the clouds were above the runway here. So they had to do some deviating from my course, but yeah, came through and underneath all the way. But yeah, it was very, very, very different than it was even I guess 2 hours ago.
It was really, really good. We had great opportunity to do the medical work. Then got stuck an extra day because couldn't get out, and so we used that the next day to do a basic presentation on AIDS prevention. Brad and Safiri were dispensing reading glasses, and we had a lady there that she was not able to read her Bible anymore because she just can't see without them. And so we got the glasses on her, and she was able to read, and she had the biggest smile on her face. It was like, I can read my Bible again. And we had several people there that said, please come back. We need you to teach us the Bible.
I've been out there once where there's been a rain cell or a rain shower that's been right over the field, and I've had to kind of circle around and wait for it to pass by, and then you can come in and make an easy landing.
I'm hoping that Justin is underneath the clouds because most of the sky is overcast with the clouds. So if he's on top of the clouds, he might have a bit of a challenge getting below. So I'm hoping that he's at a lower altitude so that he won't have to worry about coming down. Shall I ask your landing, Maseru?
Favor. Did you have a chance to look at the wind spots for me?
The wind is favoring runway 04.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's comforting to know that MAF has parameters set to keep the guys safe. It's pretty much cut and dry. They either know they can get out and get back, or they know they can't.
It was pretty rainy, lots of clouds. We flew on top for most of the way back, and then we were working our way through the rain on the way underneath when we got close. So yeah, there was a point where I thought I was going to be spending the night in the mountains tonight. It's just really helpful when there's people here reporting what's happening in Maseru, because from out there you're thinking, well, this looks good, and you know, you don't know what the weather is doing 80 miles ahead of you.
Growing up, I wanted to fly jets, but that wouldn't have compared with flying these little planes and doing what we're doing. The joy that I feel from that, the excitement, the adventure.
Barb and I have always said, as you walk down a road, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it by yourself, or you can do it with help. And we've always had so much help along that road.
The real question that all of us need to ask ourselves is, what are we doing that has eternal impact?
What would you like to say to your supporters?
May God be blessed. You guys are blessing me beyond my wildest.
I encourage you to pursue missions, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's a place that's thousands of miles from your friends and family, or whether you're right next door. The safest place in the world to be is in the center of God's will, and so go.
Are we on?
We're on.
Can't be too coarse, can't be too fine. The key is in the grounds. I made coffee all the way through Desert Storm, okay? Grimesy, you got it powdered? That's all I heard.
How many cups of coffee does that make for today?
I lost track.
Hello, I'm Ian Skelly, producer and one of the missionographers here at All Over the World. We have enjoyed bringing you along with us on all of our adventures and showing you what God is doing around the globe. Our goal is not only to challenge and inspire young people to consider missions as a life choice, but also to bless the missionaries that we feature. That is why we as missionographers provide our services, and the television stations that air all over the world donate airtime. But none of this would be possible without the help of viewers like you. Your support is vital, and it can help change the lives of so many. Will you partner with us? Your donations will help us to continue to share God's love to those who have not yet heard. And with all of us giving our time and resources, we can make a difference. So join in on the adventure by calling the number on your screen, or visit our website at www.aotw.tv. Thank you for making a difference.